All right, Heather. Good job. Awesome. Nicole, you want to kick us off?
Sure. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole Navarro, and I'm the founder of Pawsitive Beginnings here in Key Largo, Florida. We are a 501c3 nonprofit fur farm fox rescue. So what that means is all 6 of the foxes here were saved from the fur trade here in the United States. A lot of people don't realize that fur farming is still very much alive and well here in the United States. That was Reef. So if these foxes had not been pulled off fur farms, their destiny was to be for fashion purposes. So people are still out there wearing real fur. Luxury designers like Louis are still buying fur and selling fur at outrageous prices. So these 6 foxes are truly the definition of survivors. So what we do here is we give them a permanent home. You know, they're not going anywhere. We don't breed them. We don't sell. We don't let them out once they get here. This is their forever home. So like I said, we have 6 foxes. Reef would probably be the most well-known fox if you all follow us on social media or live here in the Keys. He has become quite his own brand. He does a very good job at marketing the rescue all on his own. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. I'm a huge advocate for banning fur sales globally, but locally as well here in the United States. I've been a guest speaker at a few anti-fur demonstrations in New York City. So aside from being a Key Largo Fox mom, I'm also very passionate for ending the fur trade here in the United States. So I want to thank you all for signing up today. This has been months in the making, and I can't wait for you to get to know these ladies. I actually texted them last night and said I'm going to miss our monthly Zoom meetings, our monthly Zoom plan meetings, because they've really me now. So I cannot wait for you all to see and experience what you're going to experience today. So what else was I supposed to do? It's been a long morning here. Sorry, I look like crap. I've been cleaning all morning at torrential down. Some of the kennels flooded. Raffle tickets. Anyone that bought a raffle ticket, I have your names in a random winner generator. So if you bought raffle tickets prior to the event, your name has already been entered into that wheel of names. But if you would still like to buy raffle tickets, I believe Heather threw that link in the chat. So raffle is at the end of the readings, 5 people will be picked for a 30-minute private reading with one of the ladies that are here today. So at the end, again, like I said, I'll do the random wheel of names, but if anyone still wanted to get in on buying raffle tickets, that'll be available until they say so. I don't know. Until after the second reading, I believe. So after the second reading is when we're going to cut off the afternoon Fox show here at Pawsitive Beginnings. So if anyone wants to buy raffle tickets, you can follow the link in the chat that Heather put up there. And yeah, turn it over to someone else now.
Awesome. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, we're so happy to be here. We are the Animal Communication Collective, some of the members of. This is an incredible organization made up of a group of, I think we're over 30 now, right, Karen?
Yep.
We're all professionally trained and certified animal communicators. We all trained through the same school, the same organization, And through the brainchild of Karen Dundee Smith, one of our readers tonight, this organization was formed. We have come together. We're all completely volunteer, and we do fundraising opportunities like this for shelters and rescues, 501c3s across the country and actually across the world. We have international members in our organization. So many of you may not be as familiar with this concept, how animal communication works. In my belief, it's all energy. We're all open to receive the information that these animals are bringing to us. Our animals, and you hear my kitty in the background. It's not as fun as a fox, but she would love to be in this room. So I believe, and many of us do, that our animals come into our lives for a particular reason, at a particular time, at a particular reason, to assist us in our own growth and our own evolution. They have perfected unconditional love, and we as humans are far behind them in that capacity. Our animals are here as our teachers and to support us as we go through life. It's such a wonderful opportunity to be able to listen to them and give voice to them in work like this. So we're so excited to be here to work with the foxes and with all of you today. And thanks for giving us this opportunity. Tracy?
Hello, I'm Tracy Akett, obviously one of the members of the Animal Communication Collective and one of your readers today. Before I introduce our amazing team, I just want to review a couple of administrative things. First, as you probably noticed, we are being recorded. And as part of your disclaimer when you registered, you're giving us permission to record this and for you to be part of that. If you do not want to be part of that, you can turn your camera off. If you would like to be selected or have the opportunity to be intuitively selected for one of the readings today, please have your camera on and please have your name, as most of you already do, have your name at the bottom so that we know who we're choosing. I think that's it. I'd love to introduce our team now. Karen, would you like to start?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Karen Dundee Smith, and as Meredith said, one of the directors of the ACC. I'm here in Boston. And I also have a background in Chinese medicine and energy work and Qigong. And so I bring that information with me into my readings, and the animals make sure to kind of connect with me at that level and share that kind of information if needed for their people. So I'm really thrilled to be here and nice to see you all.
And Meredith?
Yep, I'm Meredith Tollison. I am in Tupelo, Mississippi. I am obviously a professional animal communicator, as well as a soul level intuitive coach. I have training in animal Reiki and in canine behavior training. And I work all of those things into these types of readings. Having that knowledge, the animals tend to bring me the information in those ways that I can understand and bring into my readings. Thank you, Tracy.
Welcome. I'm going to jump in the middle here. So I'm Tracy Akett. From Ontario, Canada. And in addition to animal communication, I, like Meredith, have a dog training, I call it canine coaching certification or whatever. And I also do what I call animal relationship coaching. So helping people through grief and loss, through struggles they may be having with their animals, if there are behavioral issues, that kind of thing, like supporting the person and the animal in the relationship. Yeah, that's about it. Jane, would you like to share?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Jane Fieldis, and I am also in Ontario, Canada. Tracy and I live about an hour apart. We still haven't met in person yet, but sometime we will. I am actually a school teacher. I teach high school. But I do have a passion for animals, and I have actually been through the course. I've been doing this for 5 years now, and I went through the course with Karen and Meredith and Tracy. So
thank you, Jane. So the four of us who have already introduced ourselves will be your readers today. And then we have our amazing Heather Anderson, who is our tech person. I'll have her introduce herself.
I'm Heather. I'm just going to be helping out in the chat today if there's anything that needs to be dealt with. I'll be posting links for these lovely persons' websites. So if you do want to get a reading with any of them, and me too, because I'm available, you know, but I'm just not reading today. You do have the opportunity to win a freebie if you join the raffle. Go buy some tickets because I'm in on that too. So I'm from Cincinnati, by the way. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Heather. And lastly, we have Jody Jacobs, who is our Animal Communication Collective ambassador. She helps reach out to rescues to try to help set up these fundraisers so that we can help more animals. So Jody, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Jody Jacobs. I'm on Long Island in New York. And as Tracy said, I'm the ambassador for the ACC and proud to be that because these ladies are amazing. They do great work. So if you know of any animal organizations out there that are 501c3s, please have them reach out to me and maybe we can help them out and set up an event for them as well.
Thank you, Jody.
Welcome.
So let's get going with the readings. A couple of things first. When we select a person for the reading, we will be doing that intuitively and we'll take turns, so different people will be choosing. And when we, if you are someone who is chosen, then we will want to know your animal's name, the species, their gender, and whether they're alive or in spirit. And we ask that you don't share other information if possible, because we'd like to get that information cleanly and intuitively and not be influenced by what you might have just shared with us. We will, as we go through the reading, ask if it makes sense what we've received, and you can let us know that with a yes or a no, or maybe a yes, you know, Bobby loves his ball or whatever. So a couple of words is fine to help us understand that what we are sharing with you makes sense. I think that's about it. Any questions? All right.
Oh.
So Karen, I think it's you. No, Meredith, it's you and I starting out.
Yeah,
You want to take the lead on this?
absolutely. Absolutely. So Laura Strand, are you open to having a reading today? Great. Let's see if, can you unmute yourself or does Heather need to unmute you?
I think I did.
Okay, great. So Tracy and I are going to do a reading for you.
Okay.
We'll gather a little bit of information and then you'll have the opportunity to ask your animal a question. So tell us, who is your animal?
Sam,
Sam. Is Sam male or female?
male,
And what species?
canine,
He's a dog. And is he alive or in spirit?
spirit.
In spirit. Okay, fantastic. Give us just a quick second to clear and connect with Sam. And we'll get going here. And I'll tell you, when we receive the information, we just pass it along. We don't try and I'm gonna move you up here. We're not going to try and make anything make sense. We will ask you if what we're saying makes sense. If it does, say yes. Don't offer anything else other than that. If it doesn't, it's fine to say no. And we can rephrase the question and go back in and ask for a little bit more information. And then we'll have a quick second or two at the end for you to give us some feedback on that information. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So when I first connect with Sam, I receive information. I see, hear, feel, touch, taste, smell, and I also get random things like cartoon references and Monty Python references and Star Wars and weird things. This is coming in as a cartoon, very like Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, and this is like a big, goofy, like sort of dog. Like the energy is just coming in, very lovable, tongue hanging out, slobber, but not. It's feeling a little clumsy, but in an endearing way. The way that Sam is coming into me, but definitely all this love, all this slobber, and great big eyes. And I actually see like eyelashes in emphasizing that the connection is through his eyes, and he's blinking like, I love you, and he wants everybody to see that. Does that make sense?
Most of it does, not so much the slobber.
Okay.
And Laura, when I connect to Sam, the image I see is of him. He's standing and walking. He looks curious, like he's reaching out to see what's happening. But I keep hearing, I spook myself. Like he looks and then he's like, oh, and then he's looking somewhere else and sort of a little bit surprises himself by some of the things he does. Does that make sense to you?
A little bit.
Okay.
So I can see Sam curled up in a bed that's too small for him. Like maybe he has stolen the cat's bed. He's got his big boy bed, but there's something to the side that's not really his. It's designed for something else, but he's trying to squeeze himself into this particular situation. It feels like a bed, but it also feels like it could represent other situations, like showing up in the middle of the party and I don't know, taking a bite off of the birthday cake or something. He feels like he's wiggling himself into an area that's not necessarily appropriate, but it's so adorable that everyone just laughs and says, oh, Sam, look what he's done. Look at Sam trying to sleep in the cat bed. Look at Sam curling up in the aquarium. You know, there's something about Sam putting himself in a situation where it's not quite designed for him. Does that resonate with you in any way? Nope,
No.
not at all. Okay.
Laura, when we first connect with animals, we often connect to learn a little bit about the personality and who they are. And as I was trying to do that with Sam, the first thing actually that he said, the first thing I heard was, I miss you. So he kind of jumped right ahead to his connection with you. And I wanted to share that with you. I also saw him almost like he was crawling on the floor and trying to get himself into places. It sounds a little bit like what Meredith received, but trying to get himself into places and close in. I don't know whether it's like into couches or somewhere, but he's sort of crawling and sneaking, trying to get into places where maybe he's not supposed to be, which is again similar to what Meredith got. Does that make sense to you?
That sounds like our other dog that's still with us.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I have had that happen before,
Yeah.
where sometimes the wires get a little crossed.
Maybe he's watching her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
And sometimes when another animal, when the information about another animal is coming in, it's truly Sam, the animal we're connected with, going, I've got to show you this about my brother, sister, whoever, because it's relevant to the question that you have for him. And there's something about it that will loop back around in the end.
Mhm.
It often happens like that. Yeah, I love that you're getting that, Tracy. There's definitely like a squeezing into something that I'm feeling from Sam. Why don't we go ahead and let you ask him a question, Laura? How do you feel about that? What question do you have for Sam?
I didn't really have a question, I guess. I just kind of wanted to validate that he's still with us. I feel like he's still with us many times. And that does sound like he's perhaps watching his sister, who we never knew, because she crawls under couches and beds and such like that.
Oh,
That would be my interpretation. But I mean, I don't have a specific question other than, I mean, I'd like to know that he's still with me.
Okay.
So we can ask Sam, are you still with us? And will Tracy help me with that? I mean, how do you let us know that you're still with us?
Yeah. What message do you have for Laura that would be meaningful to her?
That's good.
That sounds okay, Laura? And
Yeah,
that's not
that's great.
exactly what you were saying, but I kind of think if you send
Yeah,
a
no,
message,
that's
it's meaningful.
perfect. I don't
All
know
right.
how to frame it. Yeah.
Okay. You okay with that, Meredith?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Why don't you take that and get started? And I'm gonna
Okay.
ask the question myself as well.
Sam, Laura wants to check in with you and make sure that you're okay and you're still near her. What message do you have for Karen? Sorry, I'm sorry, Laura. What message do you have for Laura, Sam? I definitely, like, I see this and I hear watching over you. And I feel like he's like, I mean, Meredith mentioned cartoons. I don't usually get cartoon images, but I feel like he's sort of, wherever you are, he's like, boom, he's in this corner. And then you're in another room, and he's like, boom, he's in that corner. So he sort of seems to appear wherever he needs to appear to kind of be around.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking Sam for the right words to deliver this message, because immediately the image I got when we asked the question is you behind a window or inside a, it's almost like inside a clear box. And there feels like a little bit of a barrier or resistance, but it's very, very clear. I mean, this is super clean glass. There are no fingerprints. There are no smudges. There are no, like, you know how people go up to a shop window and put
Yeah.
their faces and you can see the outlines of their foreheads and this is super clean. This is spotless, clean glass, but it's still there. It's the kind of glass that you would walk right into and smack into if you didn't know it was there, because it's so clean and so clear. But it does feel like a bit of a barrier, like there's a little bit of resistance. And I'm hearing and seeing the X-Files poster that says, I want to believe. I think I know what that means to me based on my toolbox, but I'm not going to try and translate that. It feels like you're watching him. He's watching you through this very, very clean glass, but there's still a bit of a barrier there. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, that could. Also, I mean, I wish my windows were clean. They're not. But I do look out a window into the backyard where I used to be able to watch him in the backyard on the hill. And sometimes I feel like he's still there. So that would be me through the window, but it's certainly not a clean window, unfortunately. But your other
Animals have a
interpretation
clean window.
is interesting.
Laura, I saw him.
And I do want to believe, so yeah.
Sorry, Laura.
You're fine.
Finished, Meredith?
What's that?
Can I go, Meredith?
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So Laura, I heard I didn't want to go, and I saw him standing like 4 feet square on the floor, and almost like he was facing away, and just a knowing that I feel like he was sort of your rock or your anchor, somehow responsible, not responsible, it's the wrong word. I'm going to stay with rock or anchor, that he was somebody very like a solid personality in your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes good sense.
Mhm.
Yes.
And to wrap that up, he's showing me himself as an image of literally like a draft horse, you know, one of the big, solid, huge horses that is a working animal. And I see him saying, I'm pulling you with me. I'm pulling you with me. And it feels like that rock anchor thing, that he was responsible for helping pull you into maybe out of yourself a little bit. Like you relied on him to support you so that you would have the confidence to take a step into something that you didn't feel quite so certain about.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you feel pretty complete there, Tracy?
Just one last thing to add, a message from Sam, very clearly, I love you. And often when I feel that love, especially from animals that are in spirit, it almost always makes me feel teary, which is what's happening. So he wants you to know that he loves you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it feels like a really strong heart connection there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to give us 1 or 2 little points of feedback on that, Laura?
He was a golden doodle, a very large golden doodle, say 78 pounds, Rastafarian fur that we didn't have cut short like most golden doodles. So he was solid and maybe draft horse-like. He really was a very angelic dog. The thing about the eyes really resonates because he had this beautiful built-in Egyptian eyeliner, we called it. And certainly his eyes were what most people would have connected with. He was a little goofy and not, I wouldn't say he was the smartest dog, no offense to him, but he was just very sweet, like a true angel on earth. So yeah, that was great.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much, both of you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much for giving us the opportunity to connect
Yeah.
with you and with Sam.
Thank you. It was great.
We'll just
All
disconnect.
right, Tracy.
I believe Karen and I are leading now. Karen, did you want to lead or do you want me to?
Nope, you go ahead.
Okay. Let me see. Louise, would you be open to having a reading with us today?
Yes, I would.
Wonderful. Great.
Hi, Louise.
Could you share the name of your animal, species, gender, and if they're alive or in spirit, please?
Sure. This is a dog in spirit named Curly, a male dog.
I love the name. You said male dog? Not that it's.
Yes. In spirit.
All right.
Okay.
All right, just give us a minute. Karen and I are gonna connect with Curly and find out what he wants to share with us. Louise, I immediately see almost as if he were a human. He's like, "Da-na-na-na-na-na," like really kind of letting loose and high energy, but not crazy energy, just really free spirited almost and happy. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And Louise, when he came in to me, he came in right away going, "Oh my God, I'm here. Oh my God, I'm here." And he's like not crazy, but running around in circles with his own excitement. And he made me laugh with his joy and the energy that he still has in spirit, like this full on joy, like I'm here, I'm here. And he's like running around in circles, like really happy to be here. So he wants to tell you that, like he's so happy. Tracy?
Yep, thanks. I see him I see him calm down and focus his gaze on you. And I hear, I'm serious too. And very intently gazing at you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And he said to me, "Tell Mama," because he called you Mama. That's his name for you, I guess. "Tell Mama I'm really glad about what she's doing now." He says it's important and he's very glad about what you're doing now. He makes me feel like he's a bit of a partner in that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
I see him like physically moving around your home, and it feels like there are people around, and that he is, I want to say busybody, but not in a way of being intrusive in any way, but just it's sort of like wherever something was going on, he was there. Or that's what I'm seeing, is that he's sort of, things going on here, he's there. Things are going on there, he's there. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And he wanted me to share with you, I'm not sure what he passed from, but from his perspective, he wants you to know that everything's working again. And he actually brought me to as if I had hindquarters, like them not feeling like they work so well. And even like pooping as if he were still pooping, but he's not, because he's this big orb of light. But he just wants you to know that the way that he feels now, if he were still in his dog body, it would be like as if everything was working now. So he wants you to know that. Does that resonate with you?
I have to think about that a little bit.
Okay. I can go in and ask him more about that.
I hear the word entertainment in terms of him describing himself, and distraction. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Just gonna
So
see. if really,
I'm
okay.
asking him to just give me a little bit more about what he meant by everything's working now. And I just hear, I am completely whole. I am completely whole. He makes me feel like there was he makes me feel like at the end of his life that he didn't feel like he was all completely whole.
Mm.
And that certain things didn't function as well as they should. And that now he wants you to know none of that is an issue. Like he's completely whole. Like the fluidity of how things flow for him is completely whole. That's what he keeps saying. Does that resonate with you?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm kind of on a different track. I was connecting with him, or just anything else he wanted to share with you, and I saw him going out for walks or outing somewhere, and for him it was the way I see him, like this is a big event. Like if he could be in the head of the parade and like banging the drums and it's like prancing and like being out in the world, for him the way I see it is he's excited and he's happy, and it's a big, fun, exciting experience. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
Louise, do you have a question you'd like to ask Curly?
Yes, I do. And my question for him is, why has he recently been trying to get my attention?
Okay.
Karen, I don't feel any need to modify.
I think that's
that
a good question. Yeah.
I think it's a great question. Okay.
Because what do we know? What does Mama need to know about getting you trying to get her attention right now?
I immediately heard "you need me."
Mhm.
I'm just going to go and see if he has more to say about that.
He's pointing back to what I said earlier, which is he's trying to help you with what you're doing now. And actually, when I ask him that, I actually feel him vibrating the whole top of your head, like opening up something in here. And I actually feel like the whole top of my head starts to kind of tingle and vibrate a little bit, like something's he's trying to get in there into your kind of like third eye and work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And I saw him reaching out. If he had a hand, he would be reaching out and putting his finger under your chin and just lifting your chin up.
Oh.
Make sense to you? Made me feel very emotional.
Oh, he just showed me a picture of him energetically, like I don't know how big he was in real life, but he shows me like if he could, he's like hugging you like a fluffy bear hug, like across your whole body with his paws on you like this and just hugging you and trying and just filling your heart with love. Does that make sense to you, Louise? Yeah.
Louise, I have to say, unfortunately, when Karen is talking, she's been sort of sharing serious things, and I'm sometimes laughing, but I'm not laughing at what Karen's saying. I'm laughing because the way he comes through to me brings me joy. So just so that you know why I'm doing what I'm doing when Karen is talking. Karen, I didn't interrupt you, did I?
No, that was it. He was just giving you, Louise, this huge like hug, just like.
Okay. So, I mean, I mentioned that he was putting his finger under and lifting your chin, and then, this is what I was chuckling at. He is putting his paws behind you to kind of push you forward, and he's like leaning his shoulder into the side of you to just be there, but finding different ways to support you. And he's showing me this through his physical actions. And the way he does it is making me smile. So does that make sense to you in terms of who he was?
Yeah. Yes.
Does that answer your question, Louise? Do you have
Yes.
anything to add, Karen? Yeah. Do
I
you have
think
anything
that-
to add, Karen?
Thank
The
you.
last thing I saw was just him sitting on the end of a couch. Like there's like he would, like an impression on the end of a couch. He's still hanging out is what he's telling me. He's hanging out on the couch.
Okay.
Okay.
And the last thing I see from him is him showing up when you don't expect it. So you come around a corner and he like sticks his head out and is like, hi. So yeah, I feel like he's going to, this is me interpreting, I confess, make himself seen in some way to make you smile.
So
Thank you, Curly, and thank you, Louise, for letting us connect with
connect.
Curly today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank
He's
you.
a super sweetie.
Yeah, oh, totally. And who is Karen? I believe you are on with Jane now.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, Louise. Thank you,
Thank you,
Curly.
Louise.
And Jane, you ready? All right, so I'm gonna hone in and someone. Jean.
Just a quick reminder
Oh, thank you,
that
Meredith.
this is your last chance to buy raffle tickets. After this reading, we'll be closing the raffle purchase. Sorry, go.
Thank you. Jean's iPhone.
Okay.
Hi, Jean. Are you up for having a reading with us today?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so what we would love from you is the name of your animal, their species, if they're male or female, and if they are alive or in spirit.
Oliver, dog, male, spirit.
Okay. All right, thank you. So just give us a minute to kind of get settled in and connect with, invite Oliver to come and talk to us, and we'll be right back to you. Okay, Oliver. Oh, so, okay, as soon as I connect with Oliver, he just, I mean, I get really emotional. He just fills my heart. And his presence is so energetically big. I don't know if he was actually a big dog or not, but his presence was really big, and it's still really big. And I feel him just filling up my whole chest, trying to say, I'm filling up your chest, like I'm filling up your heart. He makes me feel like this was more recent of a passing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Jane?
Yeah, I'm getting just little bits of snippets of things. He's kind of coming in and out to me at the minute. I'm sorry, Karen, could
okay.
you?
Yeah, I'll keep going. Well, because
Thanks,
he's,
sorry, I'm just.
yeah, he's a very, I mean, his energy is big, so it can take a minute to get settled into it. And so I took a breath and I could see like this tail wagging and a butt shaking, and kind of like as if from when he was in his body, like this, just, I was like, I don't know what to say, because it looked like a cute butt to me. Like he had a cute butt. He's showing me his butt, and there's like a tail going like this, and
Yeah, he's coming into me as smaller, like as a bulldog with this huge head, and he's got a small body for some reason, but a huge head. And he's got quite a force with him as he moves in. He's kind of coming in with his shoulders, like pushing with his shoulders. And he's showing me, I don't know if you ever remember that cartoon, the Looney Tunes cartoon with the big bulldog or whatever, and this little kitten adopts, and he's trying to be really ferocious, and he's rah, 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 like this, and then but the kitten just like ignores that. And I'm seeing that with this big presence that he has a very, very sensitive side to him, a very, it's sensitive is the word that comes up. Does that make sense, Jean?
It does.
Jean, do you have a question for him? I feel like he's telling me ask her, ask her, ask her. So what, what is your question for him?
You okay? Is he okay?
Is he
Is he
okay?
okay?
Okay. Okay, so the first thing he says to me is, I can breathe. If that means something to you. And he feels very full energetically to me. He feels fine. He knows you're really sad that he's not here anymore in the physical body, but he says he's fine and that he can breathe.
I'm getting, sorry, Karen, did I cut you off?
No.
Okay, so sorry. I'm getting that he keeps saying, I'm tough. I'm tough. And again, this like little bulldog type face with this huge chin that comes forward. Yeah, but he's just telling me, yeah, I'm tough. I'm tough.
So, okay, so he's bringing me to his passing. What he shows me is that he had assistance in passing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
He also says that it was a relief. You need to know it was a relief. And for him, the breathing thing was, he's showing it to me as energetically as he was able to let go of being weighed down by the body that he tells me was not working so great anymore, that he took this huge breath as he came out of his body and was like, oh, like relieved. So he wants you to know that he's he's relieved because he felt like, okay, I'm good now. So, but he also recognizes that it was hard for you because you had to assist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, I can reiterate what Karen said. He's fine. He's good now. He can breathe.
He says you're braver than you think you are. That was it. That's a message he wants you to know, is that you are braver than you think you are. And it's really important that you know that. He shows me his energy is very steadfast and strong energy. And that he's supporting you to help ground you. Where did she go? Where'd Jean go? We lost Jean. Jean, want to wave your hand? Did we lose Jean?
It looks like we actually did.
Yeah. Well, I know she'll be able to listen back to this, but he was saying for Jean's sake that she's
Another one getting sick.
that she's braver than she thinks she is, and she's got a very strong heart and he loves her. So Jean, that's the final message for you. And in case you're watching back on this, he's going to try to sit on your feet. Oh, here she comes. Yay, we can give this to her. There you are. So Jean, okay, so the last thing he wanted me to tell you is you're braver than you think you are. He's trying to help give you that grounding and that strength now that he's free. And you may feel him trying to sit on your feet now that he's in spirit. If you notice the tops of your feet feeling a little heavy, sometimes he's trying to tell you that he's there by giving weight, feeling pressure on the tops of your feet. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, you lost me for a minute.
That's okay. You came back. So does that help? Does that answer your questions for now?
It does. He was a tiny little chihuahua with a very personality.
Oh, see, they come in how they want to come in to show how big they are in their energy.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely larger than life, and everybody loved him.
Oh,
Big heart, really big
big
heart.
heart, yeah.
He had a huge heart, and he loved everybody, and he was my shadow.
He's an awesome guy. He's really awesome.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen and
Okay.
Jane. Jane, before you select the next person, I just want to remind everyone that we are now closing the purchase for raffle tickets. So at the end of the event, Nicole will make the drawings and announce the winners. So Jane, why don't you and I take the next one? Who would you like to offer?
I am wondering if Teresa Holmes would like to be read, if we'd like to connect. With that was a little wave. Is that a yes or no?
Yeah, that's a yes.
Oh,
That'd be
excellent.
wonderful.
Excellent. So can you tell us the name of your pet, the species?
Yeah, and thank you, ladies. And Jean, my heart goes out to you. You can't watch that without being really touched. So, and I just want to give a big shout out to Nicole for the wonderful work she does. She's courageous and hardworking. So with that said,
Definitely.
bravo. My boy is Rochester, and obviously male and in spirit, and a dog.
Rochester,
Yeah.
male dog in spirit. These male dogs are trying to get some messages to us today, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. All right. So just give me a second here. So this is interesting. He's Rochester has come in. I get a lot of visual things, and he's come in as a German Shepherd / fox. He's come in with a purpose. He is moving really quite swiftly, and I would say kind of low to the ground, like a fox would come in, I think.
I'm actually seeing Rochester, and I'll tell you this, Teresa. Let me move you where I can see you. When I get a visual of the animal, the way that they come in, it is almost never exactly how they appeared in body, but it represents something about the energy of what they want to bring to you today. And Rochester's coming in to me as a very large, powerful dog. I'm kind of feeling like a black and tan, but he's guarding something. And then I'm seeing the Greek mythology, I believe it is, the dog with many heads. I think he guards the gates to Hades or something like that. There's something very protective, but not in your traditional guard dog sort of way. It's more like I see this cage around your heart, if you will. Like he is showing me that he's feeling very protective of something about your heart, your soul, your spirit, your energy, not like guarding your house from intruders or, your yard from critters or whatever. He's showing me it's much more important than that. He's actually guarding some vulnerable part of you with his spirit and his energy. And it's almost like a rib cage closing around. He wants you to always be safe and sound and soft. He doesn't want you, here's the message that I'm hearing. He doesn't want you to harden yourself, harden your heart to protect yourself. He's taking care of that for you so that you can stay open and soft and receptive in your energy. Does that make sense to you in any way?
It's a wonderful message. It's a wonderful message.
Okay. And I'd like to add on to that, because that's I'm getting the same feelings, as it were. And I'm getting that there's something that he came into and he attached himself. I don't know what it was. This is just the image that I saw, that he came in, he attached himself to something, and he started, when Meredith was saying what she was saying, he started dancing around and saying, yeah, that's it, that's right. And he's spinning around, and it opened up into this light, this golden ball of light. So this is something that's quite, I believe, quite important for you, I feel.
So I have a visual image. It's actually playing like a video, like a time lapse series of photographs. And it's starting from a bare patch of dirt and then I see a tiny little acorn, and then I see a tiny sprout, and I see it growing in this time lapse into this enormous oak tree with very wide spreading arms and wide spreading roots. And it's I have no idea what that means, but it's a very strong sense of age and wisdom and security. And I'm hearing the word power, as if this oak tree is the strength and the stability. And I actually see him kind of like, kicked back with his arms crossed and his hat pulled down over his head, like napping, leaning up against the oak tree. There's something that this represents that he's feeling very attached to, that he wants to show me. Jane, you go ahead, and I'm going to see if I can get a little more information.
Okay.
Let me just say on the tree thing, you really nailed something there. It's a huge banyan tree that I released him, said a prayer and released him. And we spent a lot of time out there at the big tree.
And see, that's beautiful. And here I am going, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not even going to ask her for feedback on that because it doesn't make any sense. My lesson, my mistake, it absolutely does make sense. And aren't banyan trees, don't they have kind of like mangroves, those roots above the ground as well?
They're huge.
Yeah, it's very solid. Thank you for sharing that with me, Teresa.
Yeah, thank you. Teresa, do you have a question that you'd like to ask on Rochester?
Yeah, I guess it would be, what can I do for him? Do I talk to him too much? Does he need release? Does he need, what does he need from me? Does he need me to release? Just what would he say about that?
When you said that, I chuckled, and that was him chuckling. Like he was like, no, I like this. I like that you are connecting with me. So you're not doing it too much. He likes the fact that you're still speaking to him and connecting with him, and he's saying, please keep going with that. He's also presented himself as Marmaduke, a very regal Great Dane, and I'm not sure why he wanted me to know that, but he's also shown me the tree and sitting at the tree. He's and again he's saying, yes, please keep speaking to me.
Nice. Well, he was a regal boy.
I see hanging from the branches of this tree that I visualized in my mind, and now I'm picturing as your tree. I've never seen it, but I'm seeing decorative, beautiful, delicate things hanging from the branches, like twinkly lights or wind chimes, or for some reason there's a piñata visual that's coming, and I have no idea why that would be, but things that spin and glitter, but it's all very delicate. None of it's gaudy. It's all very delicate, and it's twinkly and shimmery, and if you could cover Spanish moss in glitter, that kind of delicateness to it, except for this big red and white and black piñata, but everything else is real delicate and wispy, and feels almost fairy-like. It feels almost angelic, like Like these are little fingers of angels coming down. And I bet you, if you sit under that tree where he's resting with his hat pulled down over his head, you feel that that angel dust almost coming over you. To relate that to your question, what does he need from you? He needs you to acknowledge that. And the message that I'm hearing is maybe you should sit down some too. Maybe you should rest. You feel you have the energy. He's showing me that you have the energy of a doer, and that you might feel that it was kind of wasting time to sit under a tree. But if you pay attention to the beautiful delicateness of the fairies and the angel dust, that is your presence with him. And that's time that you can spend together. And it's never too much, he says. It's never too much. You're not being needy for him. He wants that time with you. But if you can just allow yourself to receive those moments, whether actually physically in body or whether energetically just in a quiet moment in spirit, that's a connection that you have with him. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, very nice. And the piñata, I did live in Mexico for 7 years. Mexico's a big part of my life. Maybe that was just a sign to say, I know she knows what she's talking about.
Wow. Sorry. Wow. As Meredith was talking, I was seeing him. He was really presenting me this very, very regal, like he was royalty, or he is royalty. Very proud and I wouldn't say overly serious, but very, very proud. And the angel dust, the things that Meredith was seeing, I was seeing as well, as it was coming in as adornments on him. And you are part of that. I don't quite understand why he wants me to tell you this, but wants you to know this, that you are part of that royalty, that regalness. That's something that is you, that you need to know that you are part of. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the feeling that I'm getting.
Well, he, like I said, he was regal.
Yeah.
Standard poodle,
Oh,
and everyone always said that about him. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's presenting as a Great Dane, and he's just like, so like the profile that I'm getting, like profile.
Yeah.
He's magnificent. And there's something that it's almost like he's draping you in that regalness. There's, he's I don't know why, but he seems to be enfolding you and pulling you into that.
And as you're saying that, Jane, I actually see almost like a coronation,
Yeah.
beautiful cape. I see gold lame and faux fur. It's not actual fur, right? But it could have been, but something very it's like a ceremony, and a crown and a scepter and maybe a dubbing, like a knight on your shoulders. He's handing you some level of majesty that you're appearing very humble in this image, in this ceremony, like a little reluctant to be put in this position, but he's handing you all of these beautiful clothes and capes and jewels and crowns and everything, and saying, no, this is you. This is what you deserve. Now it's your responsibility. Heavy is the head that holds the crown. It's your responsibility to stand up tall and wear that with everything that is intended behind it.
Maybe you've
Thank
been
you, Meredith.
watching
That's great.
Queen's Jubilee. Sorry, I don't mean to make
I'm
light
sure
of
I'm a little influenced by the Queen's Jubilee. Yeah. But you see all of that footage of her. I mean, she was just a young girl and she's being crowned the Queen of England. And you can see her going, oh God, what am I about to do with this? So it feels like a little bit of reluctance for you. There's something that you're stepping into, and he's telling you here, this is your ability, this is your responsibility, and you can do it. I dub you Queen Teresa, who can do the things that she wants to do.
Oh, what a great message. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
Oh, you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you
Teresa.
very much
And
for sharing,
yeah,
for
and I
letting us
appreciate
connect with you.
little bits of feedback there. And thank you for throwing in the recognition of the piñata. Sometimes things come up and we have no idea why. Thank you so much for letting us connect with you in Rochester. Anything you want to add here at the end?
No, I'm very grateful, and thank you for the service that you all do.
Thank you so much.
You are
Thank
welcome.
for
Yes,
letting us
thank you.
work with you. And thank you, Jane.
Mhm.
All right, well, we've got time. I think we can squeeze in a couple more. Karen, would you like to do a reading with me? Why don't you make the selection?
Ooh, okay. You're letting me do it again. All right, let's see. Karen S.
Karen Happy.
Karen, hi, Karen. Are you up for having a reading today? Yes? I'll have to unmute you.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Yes, I am. I kept sending you all of these,
Yeah.
things. Yes,
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you. Yes, thrilled, thrilled.
Wonderful. Okay. So tell us the name, species, gender of your baby, and if they are alive in spirit.
Okay, so I have two babies, but do I have to pick one?
Yeah.
One. Okay. All right. So going to pick Wooden,
Wooden.
Canine,
Mhm.
and what else was I supposed to tell
Male?
you?
Male?
Male. Yes.
Alive?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Wooden, male dog, and he's alive.
Yes.
All right. So just give us a second, and Meredith and I will connect in and invite Wooden to start sharing a little bit about himself. Okay.
Okay.
Wooden.
Yeah. Great. Great.
Karen, I've got to jump right in.
I know, he just, go ahead.
Look at you grinning. I'm grinning too. Wooden is hilarious to me. Is it Wooden like Wooden?
Like John Wooden, like
Oh, with a
UCLA
T?
Wooden. No, Wooden, Wooden.
Okay.
Wooden.
For John Wooden, the great
yeah.
coach.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Well, he didn't take me to Great Coach. He took me straight to kitchenware, like a wooden spoon.
Oh.
And at first I saw it stirring a huge pot, but then he became very, very animated. And it's like, which Disney film is it? Beauty and the Beast, where the teapot and the candlestick and everyone's dancing around. So he's showing me, graphed routine of this wooden spoon, like wearing a bow tie and chaps, not chaps, what are the spats, the things on the feet? It's kind of an old-timey animated routine, like the ones that came on at intermission in the movies back in the day. He's showing me something very animated and very dancey about that, but he's laughing at how silly he knows it seems, but he's enjoying himself so much he doesn't really care how silly he looks. Does any of that make sense about Wooden?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Meredith, he made me laugh too. And Karen, a minute I invited him, he was like, dude, I'm such a dude. And then he started, he's like, I'm the dude, like that. And then he came in and he is a character.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God. And he likes being a character.
Yeah.
He likes like performing in a way. He thinks he's funny.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
along with his brother. He's the tattletale of his brother.
Yeah.
Big
he's
tattletale.
just making, I mean, I can't stop laughing. He just makes me want to laugh, that he loves hamming it up and he loves being in the limelight, and he's the dude.
He's a dude. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But he's making no apologies about how ridiculous he can be. And now I'm getting Eddie Haskell from Leave It to Beaver you know, who's always kissing up to Mrs. Cleaver and to all the teachers and everything,
Oh.
but he's such a rat. He's such a like slime bag, and he fools everyone. But Wooden is showing me a little of that kissing up. He's saying, I'm not a slime bag, obviously, but he knows that he's manipulating for his own benefit, but for no one else's harm. He likes the attention,
Yeah,
and
he
he
loves-
likes the silliness, is what he's showing me. Does that make
Mhm.
sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It sounds very much like his brother. I have two from the same litter. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's kind of, but yeah, it does. He's just he's a big tattletale on his brother.
Well, he says we're kind of in cahoots
Oh,
on a lot of
they're
stuff.
a tag team. They're a tag team. Yes.
And he's showing me himself. He's telling me I like my body and I really like my food.
Oh, good.
Um,
That sounds like his brother too.
but he says, well, he's showing me like he'll have one end of something and his brother will have the other end, and there's like this thing going on between them all the
Yes.
time.
All
And-
the time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's showing me that. That's why he says we're in cahoots.
They're
He wants
in-
you to know he's telling that we're in cahoots. And there's this game going back and forth between
Yep.
them, like one
Yep.
pulls, then the other
Yep.
one pulls it.
Yep. Yep. Big
Yeah.
time. Big
Yeah.
time. Yeah. They
very
are.
funny.
They keep us busy. Yeah.
Yep.
They're
Mhm.
yeah. They're
I'm kind of
wonderful.
hearing good cop, bad cop. Like there's definitely a routine. There's definitely a plan here. And while it might seem like he's tattling on his brother has created the situation to allow this guy to tattle so that this guy can do. They're working the system. They're working you, Miss
They are.
Karen.
Yes, they are. Yes,
Yep.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So he says, like, underneath that though, the more serious side of him, because he does have one, he just doesn't like to show it that often. He's very serious about making sure you have fun.
Hmm.
Underneath it all, he knows at some level, right? Like we all have our senses and levels about what we know beyond like just being who we are. Like he has this sense, part of his job is to make sure that you guys kind of lighten up and have some fun, not take stuff so seriously. So there's a part of him that's a bit of I want to say a clown, but he makes me feel like part of his sole job is to make sure you guys are kind of surprised by some of the things they do, kept on your toes, and make you laugh.
There's no doubt about that one.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else, Meredith, or should we go to the question?
Let's get the question. Yeah.
All right. What's the question for Wooden? I can't wait to hear his answer.
Me either. I guess I want to know what does he need? What could, I don't know. You know, we want to provide the best life possible for them. And so it's like, what do they need from us or more of? And his favorites.
Okay.
I immediately hear structure and stability. Like this fun side is a lot of fun. But he's telling me it could get out of hand. Like they could allow themselves for it to get out of hand. They would like to know that structure and stability are the words that are coming to me.
Okay.
And confidence on your part, like knowing we can laugh at them, we can play with them all day long, but when it comes down to it, they're looking to you for guidance.
Okay.
They want to do the right thing. They want you to help them learn what the right thing is to do.
Yeah. And he shows me that they're pretty smart.
They are very smart.
And when I asked him, what do you need from mom to help, or what, that you want to know what they need? Okay, play, energy, but focused. So not just like running around on the beach or running out in the woods or whatever their play is, or in the backyard, but something around accomplishing with fun, so that they use their minds with their energy.
Because they're very structured. They go on a walk every day. It's very,
This is more like, have you ever seen those like fun, like play training courses or agility courses,
Yeah.
or like jump
Yeah.
over this, go get that, bring it over here, but
Yeah.
not for winning a prize.
right. Okay.
More involving you guys in like the whole, like, oh my God, we just did this. We just found this. We made it to the, but more active, but what to use their minds as well. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And
Because they understand words, and they understand, like if I
Yeah.
say grass trail,
Right.
horses, the whole
Yeah.
thing, they know exactly what to do.
Yeah. So they're
It's-
looking for even more of like a fun challenge
Okay.
that includes you.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to completely back that up.
Okay.
Structure doesn't necessarily mean schedule,
Yeah.
but I'm seeing agility, like fly ball, or I'm teaching my dog right now trying to teach my dog to push the buttons to talk, like something using their brains, but also having fun. That type of, there are some rules around the ways that they're doing it. In an agility course, you go a certain direction, you do that together, but not, as Karen said, not for competition, just for entertainment and for brain work.
Yeah.
Puzzles, things to figure out, things we can do together.
Okay. All right. Okay. That makes sense. I got that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Perfect. Yay.
They're
Cool.
awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, they're
He's a dude.
wonderful.
He's a dude.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
totally
Yes,
see him
he
tap
is.
dancing.
He's a
Tap
character.
dancing. Awesome. Well, I think if we we can get another
Thank
reading
you.
in before we have to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you,
Thank
Karen.
you very much. Thank
It's
you.
nice to connect with you.
Thank you.
And
Oh,
Woody.
loved it. Loved it.
So Tracy
Yeah,
and Jean,
let's
why don't you
begin.
take us into the home stretch here?
Sounds great. So this will be a little bit shorter. Kimberly, would you be open to having a reading with us?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Can you share your animal's name, species, gender, and if they are alive or in spirit?
Yes, this was a really tough choice for me because I have so many.
It's a good thing.
I'm gonna go with Pepper.
Okay.
She's a female cat.
Alive or in spirit?
In spirit.
Sorry, was that in spirit?
Yes.
Yes, in spirit. All right. Just give Jane and I a minute and we will connect with Pepper and see what she has to say.
Thank you.
Just gonna move you up where I can see you. There we go.
Can I jump in right away? Because I got, the first thing was I got finally. Just finally. Okay, let's get cats in here. Let's get some females in here. And she's presenting as very I don't want to say soft-spoken, but she's just determined. There's a good word, determined. She seems very determined. Can
I go, Jane? Or are you still?
Yes. So go ahead, Tracy.
Kimberly, I see her in high places, sitting either on shelves or somewhere high. And although I see her, I have these images of her kind of sitting or lying in these places. I also have energetically a feeling of sort of a higher energy girl. And I see her sort of wherever you are, she seems to be somewhere nearby. Does that make sense to you?
Very much.
Yeah. Yes, I see her watching watching you, watching what's going on, taking it all in. Surveying her domain is what I'm getting, that she's got a very regal sense to her, and she likes to watch everything and take everything in, observe it. I don't know, Tracy. Yeah.
Kimberly, I have the image of her almost like burrowing down under something and sticking her head out the other side, kind of not necessarily to surprise you, but almost a little mischievous in that way. And an energy of, regardless of what age she actually did live to, a kitten-like energy to her. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Kitten-like energy. She's walking around, not prancing, but walking around with her tail straight up in the air, very fluffy tail. That's what she's presenting to me. And kind of as she's going by, that's right, that's good, that's in that place. And yes, everything is as it should be. And she's just trotting along and surveying. Again, I hear the word surveying her domain.
And I also see the trotting, but trotting behind you when you're walking somewhere, and knowing almost that she maybe doesn't quite know that she's a cat. She almost sees herself a little dog-like in terms of trotting around behind you and following you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, we always said, like, I don't think that she knows she's a cat. She even wagged her tail.
And the following around is almost like keeping you on track. You know, like I see that if you had gone off and done something, she might have like batted you with her paws and no, we've got to go this way. We've got to go do this. Not the kind of feed me, you know, like it's time for food, but just kind of, I feel like she's saying that she was helping you directing your life, like the path that you're on with your life. She was there. I mean, she may have been following you, but she was in a sense guiding you, like she was right there with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kimberly, I have a knowing that like her name popped into my mind, and the idea of sort of salt and pepper, but not literally that, more the spice she added to your life, that she suited her name that way. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. She was spicy.
Do you have a question you'd like to ask, Kimberly?
I think that I think my question would be, when we found out that she was sick, we also learned that there could be a very, very expensive treatment, but it's not guaranteed to save her life. And I didn't know if I should do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm wondering if I should have.
Okay. I'm just taking a minute, and Jane and I'll try to figure out how to ask that question. So I want to ask it open-ended a little bit to hear what Sarah has to say about that. What would you be okay, Kimberly, with, and Jane, obviously speak up. How does Pepper feel about the decisions you made regarding her end of life? Does that sound all right to you?
Yeah, that sounds, sorry, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I got almost immediately that I heard it was my time. And the image of her has not changed. Like she was still very happy, still following, like still walking, still leading you, or, you know, walking behind you, but still leading you. And I think, no, I'm not going to say that. She was happy with the decision. That's what she's telling me.
And when I asked that question, I heard her saying, no, 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 to you, like, no, 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 no. And then burrowing herself in, like she's snuggling in close to you, just staying close to you. So no, 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 like, don't go there.
Thank you.
Let's see what else she has to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah, to add on to that, she's happy with the decision that you made. The no, 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 no would be no, don't put me through that. Is what I'm getting added on to that. Okay.
And Kimberly, the last thing with regard to that question that she's sharing with me is just she's cocooned with you, again, close to you, like I saw before. I feel peacefulness around the whole thing, around the whole situation. And there's no, I feel nothing related to any wish that she has to have changed anything that you did. Does that make sense to you?
And I'm sorry, and I'm getting that too. Definitely getting that too.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. It would have been a really long and painful treatment if I had done it.
Mm-hmm.
And she, I mean, as soon as we found out, she went 5 days later. So I didn't have much time to even make the decision, but I still was racked with guilt. So thank you so much.
Welcome. And Kimberly, I just want to add, as you're sharing, I can feel, I literally, as I mentioned before, especially when you're in spirit, when I feel the love come through it causes me to have a lot of emotion. And as you're talking, I can literally feel the love coming through to you from her. So she's very much present and very much loves you.
Yeah, I can see her snuggling into you. You know, when the cats, I don't know if your cat, she did this, but kind of when they burrow their heads into the corner of your arm, and I can see her doing that and just snuggling into you.
Yeah. I mean, this was really, you guys were both spot on about everything. She followed me everywhere. She was always by my side all the time. She sat on my feet. She snuggled in my lap. She was the first cat I've ever bonded with ever. And she actually was still a kitten when she passed. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
And
it was really recent too.
It was what? I'm sorry?
It was really recent.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, thank you.
Always
This
so
really
heartbreaking when we lose them, but when they're young, I don't know, there's another layer there.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's really helped reassure me so much. So thank you.
Good. You're very, very welcome. So I'm just going to say thank you very much to Pepper, and thank you, Kimberly, for sharing with us today, for being present with us. That is the last of our readings. Thank you to all of you for being part of this with us today, and all of you who volunteered to let us connect with your with your animals. Apologize. If any of you, from having had this experience, are interested in having a private reading with any of us, we will be donating 15% of whatever you pay us to. We will be donating that to Pawsitive Beginnings until the end of July to continue to support them in their amazing work with foxes. And if you'd like to learn anything more about Animal Communication Collective, you can find us at animalcommunicationcollective.com. And I am going to pass the torch to Nicole to wrap things up. And again, I just want to thank everyone for participating in this, and thank you to our amazing team, Karen, Meredith, Jane, and Heather and Jody for helping us, and all of our ACC team that came to support us as well. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Laura. She's just showing her picture. What a sweetheart.
Oh,
All right.
Oh,
cute.
beauty.
Oh,
Oh, beauty.
Get everyone to do that, show their pictures as they talk about them.
Yeah.
So Nicole, over to you.
Oh, get on mute.
Thank you as well, Tracy. You did a great.
Thanks.
Did all your work.
Nicole, you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry. Okay, I did the wheel of names during one of the readings, so just randomly spun the wheel, and so Marilyn Byer won one, and she's gonna be with Karen. Kim Riley was the second winner. You're gonna be paired up with Heather. Donna Hendricks was the third winner. You're going to be paired up with Jane. Marina Mashal, am I butchering someone's name, is going to be paired up with Tracy. And Teresa Holmes is going to be paired up with Meredith. So I will email each of you individually. And in that email, I will also CC the lady that you got paired up with. So from that point, you two can just take off with the conversation and setting up your private reading. Thank you everyone for coming today. I got a little emotional as well at certain times. And I just really want to thank everyone for supporting us and coming to this, because this, I'll admit I was skeptical the first time I ever had the Zoom meeting with all of the ladies, but after that meeting, I quickly realized that this is real and it's possible, and I'm going to be booking a reading for all 6 of these foxes here sometime in the future to see what they really think of me.
They love you.
No, I just really sincerely want to thank everyone. And if anyone has any questions, you can email me personally or reach out to the ladies through their website. But the women that did win the raffle tickets, I will be sending you an email shortly to pair you with your communicator.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nicole. It was so great to see everybody. And thank you all for coming and helping Reef and his buddies.
Here's a coral. I can annoy her for a second.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. Oh, the baby.
Look at Coral.
There's a coral.
Hi,
I know,
Coral.
she's not having it. It's nap time. There she is. Say hi to all those people. They're looking at you.
Isn't
She just said, do they have to?
I know. I
Like, I
know.
don't want that. She's a cutie pie.
Thank you, Coral, for showing up for us.
She's
Thanks, Coral. Bye.
bye.
Oh.
Nicole, thank you so much for setting all this
you.
up.
All right.
Bye, Laura. Bye, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for
Bye,
sharing.
Bye.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you
you.
so much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.